I just want to pass on a little story from last night when we were talking and how he fits into the system. He gave me a commitment to start calling him Coach Napier, so we're going to start doing that.
Welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar with Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Krysan. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. How are you, sir?
Absolutely. I'm doing great. Thank you.
All
Good
right.
to be
It
here.
is that time of the year. Merry
ho, ho.
Christmas.
Absolutely.
Santa Claus getting ready to do his thing, and hopefully it's...
there's a rumor.
What's the rumor?
There's a rumor that we may have snow day number 2.
Really?
On Christmas.
I missed that. Christmas Day?
Christmas Day is a possibility.
Might be a white Christmas, huh?
Oh, that would be the greatest. It'd be the greatest.
But anyway, we hope this holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, is wonderful for you, your family, your friends, your businesses, everything that you got going on. We hope it is wonderful, and that comes from everyone at Pelican Broadcasting.
That's the casual attire, you see. It's time
We're
to
in the
unwind.
mood. We're in the spirit.
Time to
Yeah.
unwind,
Jordy
yes.
hit me with a text. So let's don't go with the sport code. I said,
Let's relax.
We can do that. A lot happening in the world of sports. I
Never
almost
ends.
don't know where to start. We saw the opening clip. Billy Napier named head coach at ULL. We'll get to that a little bit later in the program. But LSU, Ed Orgeron, rolling through the first day of a 3-day window in the early signing period. It actually started midnight Tuesday, technically.
All right.
Someone could have done their paperwork right after midnight Tuesday. But it's a very confusing time. I use that word, and I carefully choose that word, because nobody knows what to expect when you look at the pros and the cons of the early signing period. And I make the analogy. When the BCS first came out, everybody had, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. No, just let it happen.
That's right.
When the college football playoff thing came out, just let it happen. Well, you're going to have to do the same with this early signing period. We've heard coaches make comments across the country, on the positive side, on the negative side.
Yeah.
Coach Orgeron, I think he's taking it the way you probably have to. He's spinning it in a good way. Hey, it is what it is. We're going to work. We're going to do it. And then if the NCAA makes any changes, then you change. You have to address it because it is what is.
Here's the one thing that I see, and I understand these coaches. This early signing period's popped up. Bowl games are being played. Lane Kiffin in Florida Atlantic had a game last night. There's a game tonight. So, to me, they need to move it up even earlier. After the end of the conference championship games, they need to have a signing period shortly thereafter before bowl games start. And teams have to travel, be away from their offices, and trying to get all this stuff worked out. I like the early signing period myself. I think it benefits the athletes. Get it out of the way, get it over with. But I can understand coaches and staffs going, how are we going to juggle a bowl game? We're trying to win a bowl game and trying to accumulate a signing class all at the same time. It's hard.
Well, and, you always like to have a level playing field. Okay,
Right.
I'm going to make two pertinent examples. Ole Miss is not in a bowl game. Their coaches can spend buku time on recruiting. They're not also preparing for a bowl. And then to the next level, there are 4 teams who are in the college football playoff, which games are more important than the bowl games. They're trying to get ready for that. So, Ole Miss and the other teams that aren't going bowling, but maybe if you're not going bowling, you need to be recruiting. So,
Right.
But again, you always talk about level playing field. Let's make it fair. Let's make it equal as we can for everybody involved. And this tends to make some inequalities. But again, we must reserve our comments for maybe even after 2 years of seeing what this is.
There's a whole bunch of kids that are thrilled. The process is over. They know where they're going to be. This is good for like early enrollees. They can get in there and get some things done. But you mentioned a level playing field. Let's get the Power 5 conferences to have a level playing field. The Big Ten plays 9 conference games. The SEC plays 8. Let's up the ante a little bit. They talk about how we're going to the declining attendance at ball games. Give us better games to go want to see. Stop these neutral site games and play those games in your own backyard. That's how it helps. Let's get 9 games across the board. And you don't schedule these type of teams. Everybody has to schedule a certain way. I think that'd be good for college football.
Yeah, no, and I think you're hitting the nail on the head. They're going to play Miami and Arlington next September 1. Okay, Miami's not going to come into Tiger Stadium. LSU doesn't want to go into Miami's place 1, 2, 3 years later. So it's a money grab. They can get the big bucks for going to play Miami. Versus if they played at home, I'm going to just pull one out the air against Chattanooga or Syracuse, they're not going to make the same amount of money. But then you're giving the fans a home game.
But make the commissioners and the television networks a part of this, and then Miami will come to Tiger Stadium, and LSU will go to Sun Life Stadium. Let the powers to be make the rules. The coaches don't make the rules. It's the television networks that make the rules.
The TV makes the rules, follow the
rules.
money. I mean,
Right.
that's the case many more times than not. When you follow the money, you can get to the root of where all this stuff is coming from. But anyway, it's an interesting time. I know Coach Napier told you in a radio interview, ULL's not even going to try to sign anybody.
They have no staff.
He doesn't have a staff. He hadn't had enough time to begin doing that. They'll focus on Wednesday, February 7,
Correct.
which will be the beginning of the normal signing period, if you will. Tulane working hard. I mean, I've read all the schools are trying to get things
absolutely.
done. And they're all kind of like we are, shooting in the dark a little bit. But I know LSU's got the names rolling in. It started early this morning. And, we just got to let it play out and see what's going to happen. Now, we'll have plenty of stuff for you. Of course, LSU, Notre Dame in the Citrus Bowl on Monday, January 1. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Orlando, which means if you're putting it on the TV here in Baton Rouge, 12 noon. Now, programming announcement for you, as you know, all season long, immediately following all the LSU football games, we had the Pelican Sports post-game show with Buddy Sanji, myself, your phone calls, your text messages. But this year, as we did last year, with the game being on January 1, the Citrus Bowl against Notre Dame, we will go on Wednesday night the 3rd in the Tigers Roar slot live from 8 to 10. We're not going to try to go on during the Rose Bowl and everybody's January 1 festivities. So programming note, on Wednesday, January 3rd, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., Buddy Sanji and I will get some recruiting updates from the likes of MikeScarborough.com. We'll take phone calls, we'll take text messages, and that'll kind of be in the place of Tigers Roar, or if you will, a combo between Tigers Roar and the Pelican Sports post-game show. So that's what we'll be doing with regard to that. Jordy, LSU still a 3-point favorite over the Fighting Irish to over and under 51.5. That may keep riding right on up to the kickoff. Both teams missing a few guys at practice here and there. We're seeing the different reports, but the bottom line is the underclassmen are getting in some valuable work, practice, experience. The team will travel Thursday the 28th to Orlando. There'll be a bunch of stuff for the kids to do. They'll get their gift bag. And then, as you said, if you got to play not in the playoff and you're not in the Super 6 bowl game, play Notre Dame because that will draw national attention.
Yeah, no question. So we'll see. We'll see. Corey Thompson apparently out. Donnie Alexander apparently out. Arden Key hadn't practiced yet. Darius Geis has missed a couple of days here and there for whatever reason. Who knows? But who shows up, who's ready to play, that's always prevalent in these games.
Notre Dame, LSU with a little bit of bowl history. Notre Dame beat them 31-28 a few years ago over in Nashville. And, of course, there's been other matchups, and then there's been some on-the-field matchups in the regular season.
Beat them in the Sugar Bowl with Charlie Weiss on hand. I remember the year when LSU played them twice. They lost in the regular season in Tiger Stadium, then had the rematch in the Independence Bowl. LSU lost in Tiger Stadium, beat the heck out of them in Shreveport. And 1998, I believe, Jared Denardo was head coach. We traveled to South Bend and played there, touchdown Jesus, coldest game I've ever been to, personally. And LSU should have won the game, but Notre Dame came from behind late and won it. And
didn't Kevin Falk have a kickoff return for a touchdown?
Yeah, it was a great game. Great game.
Was it snowing?
It snowed, and
but it didn't snow during the game.
No, it didn't. So it snowed before, snow on the sidelines, but it was colder than cold.
Well, and according to Jordy, we might get some snow on Christmas Day.
According to the weather forecasters.
Jordy checking out the weather.
Right, not me. I'm not predicting anything, but according to the weather prognosticators, there's a slight chance.
Jordy, a couple other things before we get to the first break, and then we'll come back. Tiger basketball, a little up and down. I thought you framed it well when you said this season will be some ups and downs. Fans are going to see a lot of good things. They're certainly going to see improvement over last year's team. But then there's going to be some moments when you're going to say, okay, they got to write that off to the getting going here.
Enjoy North Florida, because then it gets fun.
Yeah, because you got Sam Houston State earlier this week. LSU takes care of them. 7-3 on the season. North Florida coming into the PMAC. Then you got to go to Memphis, who's very good. And then conference play starts.
Well, Memphis is going to be your first really road game. You went to Maui. That really doesn't count. So you're going into a hostile environment. You see how you're there. I love the fact that LSU plays Kentucky early. I don't want to play Kentucky in February, in March. I want to play them early before these young pups start to learn how to play the game the right way. You mentioned you can go see Kentucky at the Smoothie King Center this weekend.
Big doubleheader down in New Orleans.
That's nice.
Kentucky playing UCLA, North Carolina playing Ohio State. A little college basketball delight.
Oh, no LeVar Ball presence?
What a mess that is, huh? But anyway, also, we'll hear from Will Wade. We'll hear from Ed Orgeron. We got some previews for the college football playoff games as well. And we will hear later from Billy Napier, to just hit the ground running as the head coach at ULL. He had been at Arizona State most recently. He'd been on the staff at Bama and Clemson, so the pedigree looks to be pretty good.
Yeah, I had a nice visit with him, and he took a little bit of this, took a little bit of that. What's the deal with Herm Edwards? He gets the gig. He's just going to be the father figure, and then his defensive coordinator leaves and his offensive coordinator leaves. Herm's going, why'd I leave television to do this?
Well, the AD out there and Herm Edwards worked together in an NFL front office.
That was a weird deal. His agent introduced him.
Yeah, and
that's weird.
This thing, he hasn't coached in the college game in like 30 years.
I can tell you that's going.
Arizona State's going south. They went 7-5 last year.
That's a train wreck.
That's they're going to be.
Speaking of trains, Lane Kiffin, 10-year contract.
10 years.
And look, he piled it on Akron because Associate AD apparently said something in the day before, a little trash talk.
Right.
Lane put the pedal down. I love it. He won 11 games.
11
at
games.
Florida Atlantic. 11.
And from what I understand,
never done that.
recruiting's going very, very well.
Oh,
That's what I understand.
He's
got
great.
everybody coming to have
He's great.
fun.
What's the over/under on him staying there?
I don't think he stays for 10, but I think
He ain't
he'll
staying
be there
for 10.
He'll be there for a little while. And one other thing
One more
before we
and
go
he's
to break.
Gone.
Your New Orleans Saints have put themselves in a really good spot.
do that,
but
baby.
It's nothing guaranteed yet.
I can't get tickets to the game. It's a hard sellout.
Christmas
hard
Eve
sellout.
against the Falcons.
Falcons.
Lots
Sunday.
of Atlanta fans coming in.
It's perfect. You get to ruin their season. You get to avenge a loss in a tough game on a Thursday night where you lost a whole bunch of people. And kudos. I mean, 6, the most in their franchise history, 6 get selected to the Pro Bowl. That's pretty darn good. Breeze, Ingram and Kamara, Michael Thomas,
Cam Jordan,
and Marshawn Lattimore. 6.
And I will say
Pretty
this
good.
to you, that the 6 in the Pro Bowl. I can remember when we were younger, you hoped they got one.
Oh.
Yeah. And they never, in many years they did
Well,
not.
to the victor go the spoils. And
here's the other
they've won
thing, too.
games, so they get the recognition. But they deserve to be there.
With Ingram and Kamara, it's the first time
40-something years.
that 2 running backs from the same team went. You got to go back to the old St. Louis Cardinals, Jim Otis, Terry Metcalf.
That's a good.
How about that one there, huh?
Those were good ones. Metcalf was a stud, and Joe Horn was the last Saints wide receiver. Hard to believe Breeze has been there since 2006, and they never got Marcus Colston in the Pro Bowl. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Something's wrong.
Joe
right
Horn
there.
with the cell phone Joe. Was the last Saints wide receiver to make it. So congratulations to Michael Thomas and all the Saints.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, and let you hear Coach Ed Orgeron talking about his football team and the off season and getting ready for the bowl game with Notre Dame. We can't have him commenting on the signees and commitments yet, but we'll have Ed Orgeron when we return after this pause on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at pelicansportstv.com. Stay with us. Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
Hi, I'm Jordy Helper for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market at 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Chairman's Reserve steaks, their pork, their chicken, their seafood, top of the line. Primo barbecue pits, Icy Tech coolers. They can go anywhere and cater anything for you. Go to 751-7665 to call Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market, where good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments, call 225-293-6789, or go online, live at cypresslakeapts.com. With Tigers Roar, you saw the commercial in the stop set. I know we're really close to Christmas, and if you catch one of the replays, which lets me remind you the original airing each and every week, Wednesday nights, but you got replays the rest of the week on Pelican Sports TV and on the ETEL cable system, and then you've also got it at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. So keep that in mind, but tell everybody the great things happening over at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood.
All you business owners, think about this. What do you give your clients and your best customers? Well, what about a gift card from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood Market? They'll love it. It's a great stocking stuffer. It's a great say thank you for all the work we've done together for the year. Just go to their website, tremontis.com. Show up at their place, 12451 Old Jefferson Highway. Get a gift card, any dollar denomination that you want. They can use it for anything they want within the store. Their Chairman's Reserve beef is outstanding. Look, if you don't feel like cooking for the new year or whatever, they've got their crawfish fettuccine, their homemade lasagnas, which are fabulous, and so much more. They've got all the wines and spirits you could ever imagine. Go to tremontis.com. They've got all the information to make your holidays all the better.
Also, while I'm talking about broadcasting, we had the 16th annual Red Stick Bowl this past Saturday at Brex Olympia Stadium in Baton Rouge. 6 overtimes, Jordy. How about that? But anyway, if you missed the Red Stick Bowl, you can catch some reruns through the holiday season on Pelican Sports TV. Saturdays at 12 noon and 3:30 p.m., Sundays at 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m., Monday afternoons at 4:30, and we'll roll that for a couple of more weekends through the holiday season. The 16th annual Red Stick Bowl, and again, a tip of the hat to Coach Barrett Murphy, Coach Dennis Lorio, all the players, coaches, the support staff, and a very nice crowd that showed up at Brex Olympia Stadium last week. The Breeze Dream Foundation, very big in putting this game together along with the U.S. Army. So 6 overtimes, though, Jordy.
Any stars on the field?
There was a lot of good football players out there. Okay. Yeah, a lot of guys that'll be playing on Saturdays, be it junior college or the college level at one division or another. So it was fun. It was a good crowd, and just got a little long with 6 overtimes in an All-Star game.
All-Star game, when the final horn sounds and the fourth period is over, Go home.
I think the committee will
Go
look at
home.
that
There's
before.
no such thing as overtime. Who cares? No.
Well,
Come on.
the game was dragging, and I even made the comment on the air. Myself and Sean Nelson were calling the game. I said, before long, this is going to be the 17th annual Red Snake
Crazy.
Bowl.
Come on, boys.
But anyway,
End it.
I'll say this. I mean, them kids were competing. They battled their butts off all 6 overtime periods. The coaches were into it. I mean, they were having fun. But it got a little bit
Did they get a trophy
long.
or something
Oh,
for
there's
this?
all kind of stuff. They got so many sponsors and people that help Coach Murphy and them put the game on. It was really a really good deal. All right, Coach Ed Orgeron. He was not at the Red Stick Bowl. He's been busy recruiting. He's been busy getting his team ready. They're all working out Monday through Friday of this week. They'll take a little break Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Merry Christmas. They're back at work Tuesday. They actually travel to Orlando next Thursday for the game on Monday, January 1.
Those visits are getting shorter and shorter, these trips. They don't want to spend all that money. You realize that. 'Cause they get whatever they get paid by the bowl, they have to pay expenses, which is travel, hotels, meals. So you notice it used to be if you're playing on January 1, you're leaving Christmas afternoon and you're spending the whole week. It's getting shorter and shorter
Do they
and shorter.
still have the deal where the players can drive and be reimbursed?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I know one year they all did that because
I don't think coaches want to do that anymore. It's too complicated and it's
but
too
the kids
risky.
can make money because they pay you much more than you actually need
I
to
guess
put in the
kids
gas tank.
that are from Florida, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I think the coaches want the teams
I think with the
together.
new stipend and all that,
But
that they
being
do okay.
it's not a playoff game or something, I don't know.
But
I
it's
remember
important.
years
It's
ago.
important to these coaches. They get bonuses. They win X amount of games. Well, coaches want those players in check, curfews, and all that.
One year, somebody told me it was like 30 players that chose that option, and they all went in their own vehicle. Because then they could all turn in the
That's
thing.
right.
You
No,
know?
there's
You
no
had
question.
30 cars with one person in it instead of 2-3 guys in the same car
you get paid
because they
pretty
all
good.
wanted to get that
That mileage
travel
is pretty
allowance.
good.
That mileage will add up. Anyway, Coach Ed Orgeron of the LSU Tigers, let's hear what he's had to say about his football team.
Meeting yesterday at 3 o'clock. Most of our coaches were on the road recruiting. Obviously, still a contact period. We're balancing practice and recruiting. Guys ran yesterday, just conditioning. We had an organizational meeting yesterday. Today we had a regular Monday practice without pads, but a little bit longer. A slight introduction to Notre Dame, but less corrections. First Texas A&M. We watched the film. Texas A&M today, watched the special teams, made the corrections, which I believe that are very important. Tomorrow, we're going to have a spring practice type of day. We're going to work on ourselves, just a sprinkling of Notre Dame, more or less a fundamental practice in pads, and we're going to do the same thing on Wednesday. And then the guys are going to have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. The coaches at night are going recruiting. They're in home visits, and some of them are going during the day, so we balance in both of them. We have a very big weekend this weekend. Official visitors, I think the number's up to 12, maybe a little bit more. And then obviously Sunday's a dead period, so recruiting is going to end for us. And then next week we'll focus totally on Notre Dame.
Was this the first time you watched the A&M tape?
Say again?
Is this the first time y'all watched the A&M tape?
Oh, we had all watched it. We had all watched it as coaching staff.
Okay.
And we had watched it with this is the first time watching the kids.
So they've really been out of it for a while. How did
Yeah,
they come? How did they come back? Were
They
they
were great,
eager?
great focus, great, and I'm sure most of them had watched it and received their grades, but we just wanted to make sure that we went back to the basics and covered the mistakes that we made in the game.
It had tough visit this week to balance everything.
I like it myself, especially when I go to one home and there's some gumbo with potato salad, and I went to the next home and it was the best red beans and rice and fried chicken and cornbread I'd ate in a long time. So get some bigger pants, but besides that, it's gonna be fun. But I like it, I enjoy it. I think that the early signing period is gonna be an advantage for us. We may sign from 15 to 20 guys, and then we can zero in on the last 5. Our coaches have done a tremendous job of recruiting. The home business has been fantastic, and we'll see what happens.
How do you approach that? Because there's been some talk that because they have the option, the 3-day window, that if they don't sign, have you guys talked about that? Maybe pull them offers?
Yeah, we're discussing it with our guys, and we tell them the pros and cons. Obviously, it's their choice. We feel that many of our guys will sign, but signing day is going to come. I'm sure there'll be surprises. But then it opens up the window to see how many scholarships you have left, what positions you need to fill. So I think that the last part of recruiting is going to be more junior recruiting for us, targeting the guys, the big time guys that haven't signed yet, and really focusing on them.
How is the early period going to change how you handle the last couple weeks of January?
Yeah, more junior recruiting.
Yeah.
Obviously more junior recruiting.
Are you already starting to do that now?
Oh yeah, for sure.
How is that kind of process going?
Good. You know, usually if we're in an area where there are junior recruits, obviously you can't contact them, but it's an evaluation period. So we have, especially in Louisiana and the surrounding areas, Dallas and Houston, we've done a great job of junior recruiting where we hit most of those guys once a week.
How do you want to approach these couple of weeks of practice that you have? Is it really getting ready for this specific game, or do you want to look towards getting some younger guys some reps that maybe they wouldn't get?
Win the game. Everything about to win the game. And this week is going to be focusing on us. The next week we'll go on a total week game plan for Notre Dame, and then we'll go repeat it the next week.
So what do you do towards 2018? For 2018, there's really nothing. You're going to wait for next year to get into that?
Well, as far as our players?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, those guys will get more reps. I may give them a couple of more reps at the end of the team period, but it's going to send the wrong message to our football team. This is all focused on winning the game. Is exactly what we did last year.
Do you feel like Arden Key is going to practice and play?
The Arden's questionable. He hasn't come around like, I thought he was going to come around. And he's questionable right now. He's not practicing, and he's questionable, and that's all I know about.
Everybody else?
Everybody seems fine.
So there'd just be a bigger role for
Kellerman and Ray Tart. Both of those guys have played very well. I thought they played very well against Texas A&M.
Yeah, was it important to get Thornton those looks against Texas A&M?
Yeah, it was good, and give him some confidence. He and Kellerman rotated. In fact, Ray Tart started. I thought both of them did very well.
Saw KJ out there practicing today. Is he cleared for contact?
Yeah, he's ready to go.
You have more than half the commits right now that y'all could sign next week or O-line, D-line.
Yeah.
How you talked about building in the trenches.
No question. It was the goal of this recruiting season to rebuild the lines. And obviously I can't talk about the guys that are committed, but we're very excited to have 5 defensive tackles committed and 4 offensive linemen committed, and they fit the big need position. And that doesn't mean we're going to stop now. But we went out there and I talked to Coach Grimes and Dennis Johnson. Both our line coaches did a tremendous job.
When they passed early signing day, you were not really for it, but now that you're in the middle of this, are you enjoying it?
You have to adjust, and then now I'm seeing the advantages. I was going to look at it as a positive. You have to adjust, and now I need to see what goes on signing day, because obviously it's going to be a dead period. We have a big practice that day, and so we're going to be waiting by the fax machine early in the morning, calling guys late at night, and then working for practice. So it's going to be interesting.
What are the biggest benefits?
Excuse me?
What are the biggest benefits of this?
Well, I think that if you sign the number I expect to sign, it gives you time to target in on the big time guys and spend more time with them on a daily. You got one day to see them a week. You can go to school for the whole day and just hang out instead of go see 2 or 3 guys a day. And it gives you an advantage of junior recruiting, which we always said this year, 2019, is a great year in Louisiana. You can see by the new reports that are coming out.
Danny, good. I think the last time we talked, he had a hand deal. Played a pretty good game against Texas A&M.
Hey, Ed, John Battle, I know he was given a medical wrench. Do you think he's going to use it, come back? Or?
Yeah, I hope so. He had told me. I think most of the guys are going to talk to me after the bowl. Nobody that I know has made a clear decision or come spoke to me anyway.
You think they'll wait that long? Until after the bowl game to decide?
I'm not sure he had told me that. I think that's what most of the guys are trying to do. They may have decided already, but just didn't tell me.
Yeah. Earlier this week, Darius tweeted, or got into a tweet thing, that he was definitely committed to the team, and that's one way that he's going to show it is playing in this bowl game. What does that mean, just for a guy to put any of those things to bed?
Yeah. And that's who he is, man. Darius loves football, and he's loved every day he walked in this room. I've never seen him down. and he wants to finish strong, and I'm sure he's motivated. And you know, a 10-win season for him would mean a lot for us. And I'm not sure that he's made a total decision if he's leaving or not yet. After talking to him, so we'll see.
Josh Adams, the running back for Notre Dame, is about the size of Leonard Fournette. Talk about tacked on a guy's size and speed.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. And their offensive line is very good, very physical. I watched the tape this morning. We're going to have to put some big backs there in practice. Practice tackling the defensive linemen, simulate them. That's what we do. And but it's going to be a challenge. He's going to make some yards. We're going to have to gang tackle them. The defensive line got to have first hit, but first of all, we have to get off the blocks. Their line is the best line we've seen. Notre Dame's line is very physical, they're big, and they're well coached.
Typically when LSU faces teams from that area of the country, the speed advantage is in the Tigers' favor. Have you seen teams progress and kind of equalize themselves out with athletes now?
Yeah, they've done a good job recruiting. I mean, they have speed, and but we'll see. I mean, that's a statement made all the time. We played Miami and Nebraska, and that would be said, but I don't know if there's that much of a difference anymore.
Ed, is there a chance you'll sign some Ole Miss transfers?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But, in recruiting, anything can happen. But as I know right now, no.
Have you had any coaches, people inquire about your staff, or anybody say that, that this is
nothing I know of yet. Guys, everything's been pretty quiet.
What's your thought on adding grad transfers in general? Just the
if in a need, it'd be great. We also, we always looking for transfers, and grad transfers especially. But the 3 transfers we got last year, I'm telling you, I'm so impressed with Braden, Jonathan Giles, and Moss. Those guys are excellent. Jonathan caught a couple of balls today and raised a couple of eyebrows up there. Braden has been unblockable all camp.
Got graduation on Friday. Just what does it mean to have these guys now routinely graduate early? Some of them, going for master's degrees.
That's what it's all about. It makes a difference. That's why we coach, to give them an education. We love football, but without my education, for sure I wouldn't be standing here. Many of us wouldn't be in this room, and we'd be in other places. And I think that I tell my story to those guys and how much graduation means, and networking. You meet the right people to help you connect the dots to wherever you're going to go. And number one is getting that diploma.
Ed, you're going to end up signing a few JUCO guys.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you mentioned you wanted to pull some in. You obviously got a few commit. I know you can't talk about it specifically, but overall.
Fit a need. It's got to fit a need. Or just be a player that's off the charts. But obviously we had some needs. We went out and filled them, and we did a tremendous job of it. And, JC guys are important to us. Everywhere I've been, I've always recruited JC guys. And obviously, you want them to come in and play. And those guys that we're recruiting, we think can come in and play.
What is the advantage there? It's kind of like a free agent. You can slot them.
Yeah, they know too. They see your depth chart. They know where your needs are, and they watch you play and say, you know what? Hey, there's a place I can play.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, have a good day.
Jordy, let's talk about Ed Orgeron. Just kind of like the big picture thing, okay?
Tell me about him.
He's certainly done way many more good things than a couple of little, I thought he said a few too many things to the media this year that maybe could have been, done without saying. Not that he's trying to mislead anybody, but I think overall in the big picture, from the day he got the interim tag removed to now, I think he's done a lot of good here, and I think there's some optimism, but you still got to get out on the field next fall and win some football games and compete in the West, which is going to be tough in the West. Bunch of new coaches in the West. Arkansas, Ole Miss, even though Matt Luke was there for the interim game, Mississippi State, A&M. I mean, only LSU, Auburn, and Alabama have the same coach, so there's going to be some extra scouting. They know what Jimbo Fisher does when he coaches, but who are his coordinators? But I think overall, I think the fans would have to say, if you're a true LSU fan, you have to be pleased with what Ed Orgeron has done to date.
I agree.
Well, that was a real long answer
Well,
there.
you said it all. I don't know what else to say.
Well, no, okay. Well, I babbled too much then. But anyway, and with this recruiting, the bowl game against Notre Dame, the other signing, the spring practice, it appears Matt Canada's not going anywhere.
Let's wait and see. I mean, have to wait and see after the bowl game. You hear rumblings left and right. So,
well,
we'll
and
see.
that's the other thing. Everybody thinks because of this early signing period that the coaching staffs are all going to stay the same nationwide. Well, not even close, because on January 10th, everybody gets to add a 10th coach.
There's coaching conventions when there's a national championship game, and there's a lot of moving pieces and things. So I refuse to comment on speculation because I hear too many on this side of the ledger, too many on this side of the ledger. I'm not in the middle of it. I don't know what's going on, but it wouldn't surprise me either way. It wouldn't surprise me if Matt Canada were not there, and it wouldn't surprise me if he is, for obvious reasons of 3 million variety.
And then the other aspect that Coach Orgeron and others have to deal with, guys who have asked the NFL Advisory Committee for a grade about the draft. Do they come back? Do they go? Because no matter what grade comes back, that doesn't mean they're gone or they're staying. Although now they give a first round, second round stay in school grade. They used to try to project the round all the way to 7.
Right.
So you're recruiting some of your own guys, and you'd like to have them back. A few rumblings about Darius Geis. As you said on this program last week, I think Geis will not be playing at LSU next year.
They haven't. They're not foolish. They understand. You see some cornerbacks that they're going after because they have a really good feeling about who's coming back, who's not coming back. They know, and they recruit accordingly along those lines. So don't be misled by some of these. And if they get them back, that's a bonus. But they're not counting on them.
Yeah, when the coaches meet behind the closed door,
they know what's going on.
And that's not for us to know about, but that's what they got to do. They have to be prepared, and they'll have a plan either way. But like you said, if so-and-so comes back,
it's a bonus.
Hey, we got an experienced guy back, knows what we're doing.
And that will, they'll tell themselves and others, we're counting this as a recruit on this class, and look how much better this recruiting class is because of it.
Now, they did get a place kicker in.
Yes.
Transferring from Assumption College in Massachusetts.
Never heard of it.
I can't say I did either. And he will not count against the 25
grad transfer,
signing class number, but he will count against the 85 for next fall.
That's okay. Ed Orgeron said, I promise you I will go out and get the best kicker in the country, and this kid is the best kicker in the small college, FCS, junior college ranking, so true to his word.
Did you see his stats?
Amazing. That's a lot of points they
scored. Did that team win the national title? Excuse me.
I mean, these kids like 65 of 67.
27 field goals?
27 field goals, 67 or 67 extra points. That's a lot of points.
And I want to say some of those Division II and III schools only play 10 games. They don't play 12 and have a conference championship.
I want to know who that coach is.
I got to look up Assumption College and see that if they didn't go 10-0 or 11-0, whatever the heck it was, something's wrong. Maybe they don't have a defense. But
and
anyway.
look, and don't forget, by the time this airs, there's still a couple of players out there that LSU's hoping to sign come Friday, and maybe that will elevate this class even higher. But that's the big question mark. This is what Ed Orgeron is known for, is recruiting. And it's funny, but I'm hearing more about TCU this year than I'm hearing about Alabama. And that tells me one thing and one thing only. Maybe it's not the greatest year in Louisiana high school football as compared to what everyone is saying, the class of 2019, the state of Louisiana is loaded and jam-packed with really top prospects.
All right, before we go to break and come back with Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com for a quick thing, obviously he's very busy today with the beginning of the signing period. Special announcement, ding, ding, from Pelican Broadcasting. We have a new app being developed, under construction, whatever you want to call it, that is going to allow you to follow our radio, follow the TV, the programs, the special events, the regular events. It's coming soon. I don't know when yet, but it's not far away. It's being worked on. As I said, got to get a few T's crossed and a few I's dotted, but you'll be able to put the app on your smartphone, on your tablet, and have access to both the radio, the television, and other things that we may throw on there for you as well. So just a little Merry Christmas tease. Won't be ready by Christmas Day, I can tell you that. But just letting you know, and of course on all of the radio programs, all of the television programs, on Facebook, on Twitter, when we have more information, we will certainly get it to you and look forward to you connecting with Pelican Sports. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan, we're coming back for a quick hit with Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com right after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows is honored to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Krysan with you. And as we do each week, we're going to take a quick visit with Mike Scarborough of TigerBait.com. Obviously, he's very busy with the first day of the 3-day signing window. Mike, good evening. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Hey, Mike, we all kind of shooting in the dark on this early signing period, and I'm getting the feeling that it's going about as most people thought, including yourself.
Yeah, I don't see where there's any surprises for LSU. Where there was a kid that expected to sign that's not going to. Certainly, we're all waiting for Terrace Marshall on Friday afternoon, ESPN 2:30, to make his announcement between LSU and A&M, and I expect that to be LSU. I think some schools nationally are having some excitement, a little bit of craziness here and there in other places, but for LSU, I don't think that's the case. The interesting parts of LSU's class, the guys that'll finish off the class, I think that the excitement there will be in January.
They've loaded up on linemen in this class. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen. They got the top JUCO defensive lineman signed, sealed, and delivered, and Travez Moore. Ed Orgeron keeping true to his word. He said we got to get better up front.
Yeah, I like the numbers. And even if you're seeing a guy that maybe he's a 3-star or thinking a guy needs to shed some weight, that's all fine. You like having the extra bodies. And the other part of it is they're getting the guys they're supposed to get. There's no linemen in LSU's geographical area that they're missing out on. They've got those guys locked up, and that group I think looks good going forward. So that's a big positive. And of course, we're talking about a class that a month ago was barely inside the top 20. And now it's ranked in the top 10, right at number 10. And I think it can scale multiple spots, and that'll be because of Marshall, Surtain, Joseph, and the athletes, which is fine. That's typically the way LSU does it. But again, we'll be looking in the January to see if this class has a quarterback, and that's going to be. If there is a quarterback in this class or isn't, who the offensive coordinator is going to be, how do you recruit a quarterback to that offensive coordinator? That's all going to be the big question mark coming up in a month of January.
Mike, a couple of more days for folks to sign. We'll see what happens. But I've heard you say it, and others have too. Next year, 2019, supposed to be a banner crop coming out of Louisiana.
Yeah, it's a special year because you've got offensive linemen, you've got defensive linemen, you've got the typical athletes that you always have in the state of Louisiana. The Baton Rouge area continues to be extremely strong, and we're about to see here multiple years in a row where the Baton Rouge area is more fertile than New Orleans, which is unheard of. I mean, you did not say that a decade ago. So I believe that trend's going to continue. But again, having said that, for 19, there's no national or elite quarterback in the state of Louisiana. So LSU's going to need to go out and get one of those.
Mike, I hear the name TCU pop up more and more in the state of Louisiana, much more this year than I'm hearing the name of an Alabama, for heaven's sake. What is the connection with TCU all of a sudden coming into our state and trying to get some of our top prospects? Where is that coming from?
They send 2 or 3 assistant coaches here. They work their territories very strongly. They forge relationships more than a year out with these kids. The offense that they run is appealing to the offensive players. And if LSU makes a misstep or there's a coaching change at a position, they tend to capitalize on it. So, we talk about what Alabama has done in the past when the state's got players, and we talk about what might happen with Jimbo Fisher being in College Station. But TCU's also been a pain in the neck, and I know, and it's not just not just the high school kids. I think the LSU staff's probably sick and tired of them trying to see if they can pilfer off some guys on the roster and get them to transfer if they're not getting the playing time they want.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Mike, I know you're very busy with the early signing period. Tell folks what they're going to get when they go to TigerBait.com regarding the early signing period and all the other things, and that it's not too late to get a little Merry Christmas subscription to TigerBait.com.
Yeah, we've got all for you, TigerBait recruiting coverage. We've got high-definition video of all these prospects, not just the stuff from Huddle, Nobody shoots more prospect video than we do at TigerBait.com, and most of these prospects that are signing in this class, we've got our own exclusive video on. That's not highlight tape. It's actually game film. It gives you a more accurate depiction of what LSU is actually signing. So when you click on those profiles, you see a TigerBait.com TV link. You click on that, and you're going to see actual game film that's not chopped up. It's going to have the good and the bad in it. So
how do I get a subscription? How do people get a subscription to TigerBait.com?
Just go to TigerBait.com, and it walks you through the process. It takes you less than 45 seconds.
There you go. There you
2
go.
or 3 clicks, it's right there.
All you
Mike,
Tiger fans, that's a heck of a Christmas gift.
Merry Christmas to you and your family, Mike, and we'll visit again soon.
Looking forward to it. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Take care, buddy. Take care.
All right, Mike Scarborough. All right, Jordy, I took the liberty to look it up. The Assumption Greyhounds up in Massachusetts went 11-2 this year.
11-2.
Lost in the Division II quarterfinal playoff game.
Average 50 points a game?
No, 38, 36, 25, 56, 54, 55,
They went on a
49,
roll, yes.
49.
That's a lot of kicks.
Hey, he's battle tested,
Yes.
that's for sure,
Yes.
albeit in Division II. So there you have it. I had to look at Cole, what's his name?
Tracy?
Cole Tracy?
Something like that.
A kicker that's signed. Again, won't count in the 25 signees in the 2018 class, but on scholarship will count against the 85 full roster limit for next fall. We're going to take a break, come back, get to the hardwood. Going to talk some hoops, hear from Will Wade, hear from some of the Tiger basketball players. We'll do all of that when we return after this pause on Tigers Roar. Spread the roar. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com, and soon to be on the new app. Stay with us.
A teaser.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Woodburners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Roger Kador. I'm here to tell you about Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa. You won't find them on billboards, but you'll find them in the courtroom where real lawyers are. You see, billboards do not solve cases. Real trial lawyers do. So if you're hurt and need a lawyer, call 225-223-6333.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr., and I am a general dentist at Fruget Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For Total Pest Control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. Remind you about WUBR. It's on the TuneIn app. Soon to have our own new app. We have a WUBR app, but we're putting a good thing together real soon. An affiliate of CBS Sports Radio, home of the Jim Rome Show, the local radio lineup, including the gentleman to my left, Jordy Hultberg, the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji, Dave Scandaliato. If you like to wager on sports, you want to get that on a Friday afternoon. Saturday mornings, Carlos Brown. The franchise goes 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And through the evenings and in the night, Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio hosted by Mike Shepard, doing the Christmas music thing at this time of the year. Obviously, Jordy, tell us about your radio programs.
Every day, Monday through Friday, you'll see it 103.7 FM, 103.7 The Game in Acadiana, Sports 1280, sports1280.com in New Orleans, Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. So we welcome you to come listen in.
All right, but we said we were going to get to basketball, but before we do that, we all knew that Jeff Grimes left to become the offensive coordinator at BYU, and like about 8 seconds later, they announced the hiring of his replacement to work on the offensive line, James Craig, currently with the Los Angeles Chargers. He will stay with them until their NFL season concludes. Jeff Grimes will stay with LSU through the Citrus Bowl. Coach Craig and Ed Orgeron worked together at both Tennessee and Southern Cal, so there's a connection there. And it didn't. Coach O knew that Coach Grimes was going to be leaving. He got this thing lined up, and he's already been hired.
Good for Jeff Grimes. That's a move in a step-up direction as running an offense. So good for him. You notice all offensive line coaches kind of look the same. They do. They're all big and broad, and they kind of look the same.
Did you hear his deal? He was a freshman on the Colorado State team that came into Tiger Stadium in 1992 and beat LSU.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to make a guess that if he was a freshman, he didn't get on the field. But he was there when Colorado State beat Curly Holman's Tiger team. Were you at that game?
I remember it vividly. Yes, that was just one of the many in the demise of the LSU football program.
Coach Curly Holman.
But, Ed Orgeron says he's a great recruiter, so we shall see.
I saw that comment. It's all about recruiting.
It's not how much you know. It's not how well you coach. You go get me the players. We'll figure out the coaching aspect.
Yeah, I would venture a guess that all Power 5 conference head coaches, about 1 second into any interview with any prospect, it's can you recruit, or tell me about your recruiting, or tell me your philosophy on recruiting, because that's what it'll get the players in. But then, as we've learned at LSU, there's a second stage to that. You got to develop them. You can get them in.
Yeah.
Can you develop them and make them better when they're a junior, better when they're a senior?
Particularly the quarterback position. Particularly.
That would be
It's funny because Matt Canada, all the focus and attention on the year was, and rightly so, Matt Canada, because of the Cam Cameron situation with Les Miles and how stagnant the offense became. Now here comes Matt Canada, and quietly in the background, Dave Aranda just doing his thing. And now it's the spotlight, and I'm sure Canada doesn't like it right now, the spotlight. But is Canada coming back or not? Meanwhile, Dave Aranda just quietly going about his business, earning his $1.8 million and doing his thing.
I have a question for you. Are you surprised or not surprised Les Miles not coaching?
I'm not surprised. No, that ship has sailed.
I agree with you. I am not surprised that he has not. His name kind of popped up once or twice, 3 times, but I don't think anything was significant about that.
No, I would be surprised if he gets a head job
at that level. Now that doesn't mean he couldn't go somewhere else if he chose to.
Well, he's back. Herm Edwards hadn't coached in decades,
So maybe next year somebody
Maybe
says.
somebody
Maybe
says.
Herm Edwards needs him.
Maybe.
Maybe Herm Edwards ought to call Les Miles at Arizona State.
I never say never anymore. I've been burned too many times on that, but I just don't see it happening.
All right, shifting to the hardwood. That's your kind of thing, the hoops, the basketball. And as we said a little earlier, Will Wade, this team's going to have some ups and downs. You're going to see some good things. You're going to see some things that you're going to say, okay, we got to get better at that. 7-3 with a contest this week against North Florida. Little break for Christmas, then Memphis, and then conference play starts. And before you comment, Jordy, I want to point out to people on Pelican Sports Radio, we will be giving away basketball tickets for the home conference games. And the cool thing about that is also you're going to get 2 coupons to the Bon Temps Buffet at the LeBares Casino and Hotel Baton Rouge. We've been doing this for many years for the home football games, the home conference basketball games, and the tickets are compliments of the ownership of Pelican Broadcasting. Obviously, the coupons to the Bon Temps Buffet are from the LeBares Casino and Hotel in Baton Rouge. Your thoughts on the hardwood team through 10 games?
Look, there are some deficiencies, but they play hard. There is no low post presence either offensively or defensively, and because of that, teams are basically driving the lane and getting buckets. But they play hard. They're a guard-oriented ball club, and they're going to have some ups and downs. If they shoot the ball well, they'll be fine. If they don't shoot it well, they're going to have difficult times. They scramble hard. They do a good job of rebounding the basketball, but they have no rim protection in any way, shape, or form. So no one is intimidated taking the ball to the rim. They just go and finish. So Will Wade, you have to be patient. You can definitely see an improvement and an excitement level on the court, but it's going to be a roller coaster. They're going to have their ups. They're going to have their downs. Let's let them get some recruits in and let them get his system implemented. Good days are ahead.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think the future's bright, and Will Wade has been impressive since day one of him coming on board at LSU. Yeah. Speaking of Will Wade, we got some comments from him from the other night about his basketball team, and hopefully you can get out there soon and see it, or you might win some tickets on Pelican Sports Radio. Here's LSU Tiger basketball coach Will Wade.
I want the buffet tickets.
Certainly disappointing result, but we got what we deserved. They played harder than us from the start. They were tougher than us. It was basically the exact opposite of what happened on Wednesday night on us with Houston. So, we got beat because we weren't tough enough. And, at the end of the day, that's what happens. We turned the ball over 17 times and they out-rebounded us, and they were just more physical than us and finished a little bit better around the rim than we did. That ultimately got us.
With the 5-9 left, do you want your guys to go in transition at that point, or do you?
Yeah, you get a better look. We got a layup.
Yeah.
You get a better look a lot of times with the defense is scrambling than you do if you call something. So we got as good a look as you can get. But we lost the game well before that last play. That last play was we didn't deserve for that layup to go in. I know Epps wished it would have gone in. I know our team did, but the way we played and with how tough they were, they were down 9 in the first half, 6 in the second half. They came back. We didn't deserve that.
You called a timeout like 30 seconds into the game. Did you sense it from the start that you didn't have the edge that you needed?
Yeah, this is the second time we've done this, and it's the same thing, kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we called the timeout because we couldn't get the ball on bounds. But I could sense that today was going to be a meat grinder, so to speak.
Well, obviously, it's not the way you want them to play, but is this kind of predictable? As you said, it's 2 steps forward, a step forward, step back.
I guess, but you don't want it to be. You don't want it to be predictable. We've got to move. We got to move past that. And just disappointing, but they played well. Stephen F. Austin played well. They played tough. They had a good game plan. They wanted. They tried to make some of our other guys beat them, and we just don't have enough guys that could make plays. They made some of our non-playmakers, some of our role guys, try to take a little bit more of a primary, of a primary spot, and just we couldn't do it.
Tremont said they didn't handle the wind Wednesday night very well. Did you sense that Thursday and Friday in practice?
I couldn't sense it as much as I could after the thing in Maui. I thought we'd play a little bit better than we did today. I didn't think we were as locked in as we were for Houston, but I didn't think we were this loosey-goosey.
Tremont said he should have finished it, taking it to the rim instead of dishing it to Epps. Is that just him being a good teammate?
I mean, look, I'll have to go back and look at it. I mean, Epps had a great look. That's all you can ask for.
Did you want the timeout?
12 to 25 from three-point range, that's something you guys have been working on, obviously, right?
We didn't guard the three. Their three best shooters, 1, 11, and 22, hit 8 of the 12, I believe. If you look at the stat sheet. So, that'll do you in.
Coach, in the first half, they went into a zone, and when Tremont had the ball, they were double teaming as he did dribble penetration off to the side. You seemed to adjust fairly well there. In the second half, did they still feel the same, that they could handle that?
Yeah, I mean, I think
it slowed you down.
Yeah, I think we just were a little bit hesitant, and we just didn't find the open guys quite as much as we did in the first half, I think. And we tried to press and do maybe a little bit too much one-on-one. But they're good defensively. They're good at creating turnovers, good at forcing steals, and we took the bait on it a little bit tonight.
At this stage in where you're trying to build a program, is consistency of effort one of the hardest things to define, or to the level that you want to have it?
Yeah, just consistency of preparation, and I look at it more in a preparation sense than I do in on the game. I think the game's a byproduct of how you prepare, and I'm upset at myself. I probably. What's today? Saturday. So Thursday after the game, the day after the game, we just shot free throws and watched film. So I was trying to be a little more aware of, cognizant of their legs and making sure we're not, that sort of thing. And so we probably should have gone a little bit more. Yesterday's practice was just okay, not great, but we just got to learn to handle it a little bit better.
Coach, how good are they compared to, say, some of the teams you played in Hawaii?
Well, they're good. I mean, they're good. They're 10-1. They're going to win 25-plus games. Not to put pressure on Kyle, but they're going to win a lot of games. He's a good coach. They believe they're going to win. They've got a good culture of winning. They're tough as nails. They're going to win a lot of games.
You brought up about preparation. Do you guys maybe feel that you were unprepared for this game?
No, I don't know about underprepared. I just think that, there's a certain edge you have to have in your preparation. We prepare the same way for every game. We do the same thing every game. But, you can be there or you can be there, And so you've got to, there's a little bit of difference in that.
You brought up finishing around the rim. What goes into an afternoon where you guys are less physical around the rim? Why does that happen?
Just mindset, I think. We've shown we could do it. We did it against bigger, more physical guys on Wednesday night.
Transition defense wasn't great at the end. Were you trying to get the timeout after Waters 3 to set something up before they got
I thought about it, and then I didn't want to because he didn't have any timeouts left.
Okay.
So I didn't want to give him a chance to draw something up. I was just going to rely on what we do, but I didn't want to give him a chance to diagram something.
Coach, despite the loss, can you take any positives out of today's performance?
Maybe I'll find one somewhere. I don't know.
Can you give an update on Raymond?
He's getting better. We'll see. We need him back sooner rather than later.
Can this be, during the football season, we saw a loss become a rallying point. Can this be a similar thing for your team?
I don't know. Hopefully.
Coach, any explanation you shot so high in the first half and not in the second? Anything changed?
No, I just think we didn't finish as well as we needed to, and we got some good looks. We just didn't finish them.
their bench outscored our bench. Was that a factor in your preparation, or was that?
Well, they play so many guys. I mean, our bench is pretty short right now, so they play so many different guys. They bring one of their best players, one of their best guys off the bench. So when their leading scorer comes off the bench for them, so I wish we had that luxury.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Again, Merry Christmas to everyone.
You know what they
and
call it?
Happy New Year.
They call it a Christmas vacation. That's what they call it. Giving
Really?
stuff away, yeah.
Okay.
Uncle Ernie had, and they give him snow globes away and all that fun
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Is Santa Claus going to find you this year? Have you been naughty or nice?
I'm always nice. I just want peace on earth.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
It's funny. The older we get, the less we really want. Just want our children to be happy and healthy.
I
And
just want to take a day off from work and relax and just eat good food and
eat some
have
Tremonti's
some
prime
family
rib.
there, and yeah, that's all I want. I don't need anything. I don't.
Hey, don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Facebook page is Pelican Broadcasting. Twitter account is @Pelican Sports. YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting, where you can watch this program and lots of other ones as well at your convenience. And don't forget our new app, Pelican Sports, coming soon. We'll be back with more basketball stuff for you. We'll hear from some players after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
Hooper Road Car Care in Central has been serving customers for over 24 years. Locally owned by Donald and Gina Gaspard, they provide all types of car care, including brakes, alignment, tune-ups, oil changes, AC service, transmission, computer diagnostic, and much more. Hooper Road Car Care also provides towing services. Call 225-262-7127. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, 9695 Hooper Road in Central.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. I don't think you can say it too much. Merry Christmas to everyone out there.
Absolutely.
Hope it's.
What do you want for Christmas?
I want my children and my grandsons to be happy and healthy, and all my friends and family to enjoy the time and spend time together. We don't do that enough anymore.
Slow down.
I'm going to guess when you and I were youngsters, I can remember, my dad did shift work. Your dad was a dentist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but if the family was home, we all sat down and
together.
had dinner.
Absolutely.
You know, no TVs on, nobody had
No.
smartphones,
No.
all that.
No.
You know, so I would just say, I think a lost art in the family and in close friends is spending time together.
I
So
want snow
that
for-
would be my wish. Everybody spend time.
I want a snow Christmas. I want snow to come down on Christmas Day. I
need
think
it.
that'd be great.
Would it?
I think it'd be great.
Well, I hope you get some snow. See, I'm hoping that my friends get what they want.
What
you
they want.
Snow, yeah.
Yes.
And that it's a wonderful time.
Yes.
You know, if you haven't been to the Pete Maravich Assembly Center for the men's Tiger basketball team, there's a lot of new names, a lot of new faces out there. Well, we got some comments from some of these guys. So you can help get to learn them. And obviously, as I mentioned, going forward, we're going to have some giveaways on Pelican Sports Radio of basketball tickets to the home conference games and coupons to the Bon Temps Buffet at the LeBares Casino and Hotel Baton Rouge. Let's let you hear from a couple of those Tiger basketball players as you get to know Will Wade's team.
Job of denying, connect the ball, and then all of a sudden it just kind of loose ball scramble. Walk us back to that last couple of sequences from your perspective.
The one when
he got the
layup?
Yeah.
I think Trey denied the ball really well. They were trying to get it back to Augustine, and it looked to me like he got the ball. So I was headed down the wrong way. I lost sight of my man, and you know, Augustine was able to get the loose ball and had Connect down there wide open, and we gave up a layup.
Did you think about maybe fouling, just try to make him earn it, or were you just trying to stop whatever you could?
That would have been a smarter play. I already had 4. I was playing with 4 like the last 3 minutes, so I was trying to figure that out. I need to do a better job of defending at the end of the day.
Was it, I know he tried to call timeout after Trey's 3 to set up the defense.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys want to do on offense, is after a bucket like that to try to go without the timeout?
Yeah, the way the game was going, we weren't doing a great job with transition defense, so they were able to get a lot of shots and shots where we weren't set. So,
but
offensively, set defense, we probably would have had a better chance of getting a stop right there.
But offensively, that's what y'all want to do after the Connect layup. I mean, I know y'all still had 2.
Well, you know they. Oh, you're talking about offense, like getting back.
Yeah, like you had this 5-9 left.
I mean, we got the
look you wanted.
Got a great shot off. Unfortunately, wasn't able to make the shot, but you know, they played harder than us, and you know, stuff tends to happen like that when you play harder than guys. Things seem to go right for you.
Is it still this team learning how to play after a win? It seems like now maybe not playing with that same edge against Notre Dame, not coming out with the same edge here.
Yeah, it's a matter of being consistent.
Tagging off of Brandon Rashall a lot, so we were pretty much playing 4-on-5, and they would just double every ball screen or every time a big even came close to us. So they would double me and Sky and pretty much try to get the ball out of our hands.
What happened on the last defensive possession that you could tell? That they were able to get a layup.
Number 0, the guy I was guarding, he kind of fumbled the ball, so I dove on the floor and I tipped the ball, but he was able to grab it and throw it. I don't even know where he threw it, but the ball ended up getting in the paint and they made a layup. So that's what I think.
Going back to your 3, I saw Coach trying to call for a timeout. Were y'all trying to get something set up?
I have no idea. I knew it was clutch time, so I had to do something, and I made a big 3, but we didn't pull out the win, so that's erased.
After Connect makes the layup, you'll have 5-9 left. You don't call the timeout. You try to go and get the transition. Obviously, y'all get that. Is that what the plan is in those situations for you guys, is to try and just go in transition and not give them a chance to set?
We never really been in that situation before, to be down 1 and have 5 seconds on the clock, a little bit of time. And at that point, I knew I had to make a play and pass the ball to Aaron. Like I said before, it's not his fault. I should have kept going to the basket and drew a foul or did something, but we haven't been in that situation before, so we're just gonna learn from it.
Is that what you learned from this?
No.
How to handle a situation, or what is the lesson?
The right read is to obviously make the right play, but I feel like being the key guy on the team, I should be able to take that one on the chin and move forward and make the right play next time.
They had been, kind of looking back on it now, they had been following you every time you had gone to the loop. Is that kind of what you were wishing you would have did now, obviously?
Yeah. I wish I would have drove in, possibly made the layup or just got fouled and just make 2 free throws.
That sound was after the loss to Stephen F. Austin. You see what Stephen F. Austin did in their next game? They went up to Columbia, Missouri, had Missouri right there, lost by 1. Quanzo Martin, the coach of Missouri, so impressed, He asked if he could go speak to the Stephen F. Austin team after the game and told them how good of a team they are, how tough they are, and how he wants to learn from their coach how to coach his team to play defense like Stephen F. Austin does. Quite a compliment.
Well,
It's a good
80-something
club.
points on the board, though.
It's a good club.
Yeah. No, and you know.
Well, look, with the shot clock and the three-point line these days, it's pretty hard not to score that.
Well, you know, Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston, two teams from the Southland Conference, and that's a solid conference. No, it's not Power 5, but they play football very well. They play basketball, and they're very strong in baseball every year. So there's a lot of talent in that Southland Conference,
that's a
kind
good
of a
team.
mixture of a bunch of Texas schools, and then you got Northwestern State, McNeese, Nichols, Southeastern UNO. Obviously, UNO doesn't play football, but that's a solid conference. So when you see one of them teams, more times than not, you're getting a good one.
It means a lot to them. Those games are important to them, and they give their best, put their best foot forward. So, Stephen F., good ball club.
Now we got some more comments from some more of the LSU basketball players.
Feel more in the groove tonight than you had in the last couple games.
Yeah, I just seen the ball go in the hoop, so I'm just a natural scorer. So once I see one go in, I can kind of get a rhythm of the game and, you know, get a better feel.
Did you just kind of feel more comfortable out there once you kind of saw a couple go down?
Yeah, definitely.
How nice was it for you that it was a defensive play that got it started for you with the steal and dunk?
That's usually just how I start my games off. I usually get on defense first and get a layup, see one go in, and then the game's just much easier from there. So that felt really good to get a steal and be able to get it done.
Wilt has talked about how a good game was coming for you, that you've been putting in the work, and that, you know, it's just adjusting to a new role. So how difficult has it been to just kind of get you're comfortable in your role, and how good does it feel to see it pay off?
I just continue to work. I never get down. No matter how many minutes I played, I just go in the gym and continue to work and just try to stay focused on what the team needs. You know, how can I help the team at the moment?
Seemed like the video trick might have worked with you guys. The highlights.
Yeah. Definitely gave us incentive. You know, we still didn't come out the way we'd like to. But you know, we were able to get things going toward the end of the first half, finishing in that half strong, and then we came out, I think, really well in the second half, and I think we finished the game the way we would like to.
Yeah, I think it was they went up. They had like an 11-0 run. They called a timeout. He called a timeout.
Yeah.
What was that kind of like the wake-up call tonight when he got on y'all?
Yeah. You know, we got to keep guys in front of us. It was as simple as that, and, you know, just a matter of playing harder.
What worked so well, I guess, really toward the end of the first half, you guys got up 9, and then second half was all y'all first 10 minutes.
I think we were able to shake them up a little bit with that 1-3-1 zone. You know, just throwing different defenses at them and not letting them get in a rhythm. And then we were playing much harder and being more active, and that's how we were able to get deflections and, you know, get out and running and turning defense into offense.
That 10-minute stretch, I think you outscored them 24-4. And do you think that's the best defense y'all might have played this year?
I think that's the most active we've been for you know, a 10-minute stretch. So that's something we can build off of. Something we can look back at in film and see that we're capable of doing it, and, you know.
Really good body language, like you're playing very aggressively, getting after stuff. Finished with a double-double, but it seemed like you had a little bit of edge to you tonight. Were you trying to consciously kind of set a tone?
Well, yeah, I wanted to come out with a whole bunch of energy and just get my teammates fired up to play too, and mainly on the defensive end. They was out rebounding us at one point, and then I came in and tried to get all the rebounds that I could, keep them off the glass, and then just carry it over.
You're kind of a quieter guy. You're not necessarily like the rah-rah pep talk guy. Mm-hmm. Do you have to like approach like getting energy for your team in a different way?
I'm not. Yeah, like you said, I'm not the type to just show a whole bunch of energy. But I think it helps. I think it helps the team whenever I do give a whole bunch of energy, because then they don't really expect it. So like that gets them hyped. They get them hyped too and get them ready to play.
What's your early read on the SEC basketball? Again, there's no West and East. Keep that in mind. They stack all 14 of them in there. What's some of your early thoughts? Texas A&M, Kentucky, obviously very good.
I think it's the best the league has been in many, many years from top to bottom. I think there are no easy outs. Tennessee's much better. A&M's very good. Florida's very good. There's a whole bunch of teams. Alabama's struggling a little bit, but they've got some young talent, good coaches in the league. I think this league is in really, really good shape for the first time in many, many moons.
And going in a good direction.
And absolutely.
With all the coaches. And maybe get back to the days of getting 5-6 teams into the tournament instead of 2 or 3.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's what I've been perceiving, too, that overall the league looks a little bit better. I've seen A&M play a little bit. New Orleans native Billy Kennedy, the head coach. And on his staff, an old friend of yours, Don Maestri.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
they got a little flavor there. And, of course, Kentucky's Kentucky. And South Carolina's good. So, you know, there's going to be...
Mike White at Florida doing a tremendous job.
Like you said, no easy ones.
There's no easy ones. No easy outs in this league. So
and especially on
Bruce
the road.
Pearl at Auburn's getting better and better. So good league.
Notice how that whole scandal thing has just kind of settled down a little bit.
It has been quiet. Yes, it has.
Interesting.
Yeah, why is that?
Never know when it might pop back up.
So on the same night, 2 coaches got their 1,000th win.
I saw that.
Women's basketball. Gino Auriemma at UConn, fastest to ever do it. His record is just ridiculous with 11 national championships. And Coach Hatcher at North Carolina has done the same thing. Took her a little bit longer, but that's a lot of coaching, man. That's a lot of games.
Whew.
A lot of games.
We're going to take a little break. We come back. We're going to go west a little bit. We're going to go over to Lafayette, where Louisiana Lafayette has hired a football coach. We're going to let you hear from him. We'll make some comments about all that when we continue with more of Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysan. Stay with us.
It's a male flag. He knows who no one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Woodburners, serving South Louisiana since 1977, is a family-owned and operated company with over 30 years of experience. They're the fireplace experts, providing upscale products at an affordable price. Fireplaces, glass doors, wood stoves and stove chimneys, mantles, screens, gas logs, and tool sets. Visit online at woodburnersinc.com. Call 225-752-2590 or stop by 10510 Airline Highway in Baton Rouge.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, a CLK multifamily management property. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. Stop by Cypress Lake Apartments Call 225-293-6789 or go online, live at CypressLakeAPTS.com. We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. We know Mark Hudspeth departed ULL. He's actually now on the staff at Mississippi State, tight ends coach. And the Raging
step down, huh? Wow.
Raging Cajuns have hired a good coach on paper. He's been at Arizona State most recently, offensive coordinator. Worked at Clemson, worked at Alabama. You did a radio interview with him. Before we get to the video, tell us a little bit about your conversation with him on radio.
Well, he seems to have a plan. He seems to be focused on that. He's got a high, any coach coaching for the first time as a head coach, you have to judge him on what kind of staff he can accumulate, and that's significant. How much money does UL Lafayette have to spend on the staff? And I'm sure they talked about all that in the hiring process. But he has a plan, and look, if he learns some of the positive aspects from his time with Dabo Swinney at Clemson, if he learns some of the things as a wide receiver coach under Nick Saban at Alabama for all those years, and I made the comment, I said, thanks a lot for that 2011 game in the Superdome when you really came from behind and beat the tar out of LSU. 21-zip a game we'll never, ever forget, and that was the beginning of the end for one Les Miles. But he's a hard worker, he's a go-getter, he's young, he's enthusiastic, like anybody would be when they get their opportunity for the first time to be a head coach. So Billy Napier, welcome to Cajun land.
Hey, hopefully he can sell some tickets, put some people in the seats, and
develop a quarterback,
re-energize the Raging Cajuns.
And look, much like Les Miles with the quarterback position, that was the demise of Mark Hudspeth. Couldn't develop a quarterback, couldn't win games, and it fell down.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, Hudspeth, 4 straight wins in the New Orleans Bowl. Cajun football, that's their best time period, those 4 years. So anyway, we want to let you hear from Coach Billy Napier in the press conference that occurred earlier this week over in Lafayette. Again, as Jordy said, he's got to put a staff together. He's got to get to recruiting. They will use Wednesday, February 7 to do a lot of their recruiting. So without any further ado, we go to the new head coach of the ULL Raging Cajuns, Billy Napier.
Coach, what was the first thing that attracted you here? Both in your preliminary, the chance you had to look at the program, and then once your chance you had to see the program.
Well, I think it's important. It's been my dream to be a head football coach for a long time. I think you got to find the right fit. I had a chance to be in this state from a recruiting standpoint for the last 4 or 5 years. And certainly there's a buzz about the commitment level with this institution and this university. Having a chance to get to know Brian throughout the process and some of his staff, it was immediate. There was a commitment here, there's alignment here, and there's tremendous passion just within the fan base, and I know what type of community that we have here. So you're looking for the right fit. You're looking for a great place for your family. Obviously we've got young children, and we wanted to be at a place where we could settle down and raise them. And certainly there's great people here, and we're excited about being here and being around that. So I think it was about fit. I think there's commitment here. I think there's alignment here.
Dave Schultz, 103.7 The Game. What kind of offense are you going to run? And is Rob Sale, Louisiana native, coming with you?
Yeah, I think the important thing that we'll probably start with is assessing what personnel we've got on the team. I think it's critical that you adjust to the personnel that you have. You play to those strengths. But we'll be at no huddle. We're going to vary the tempo that we play with, but we want to be first and foremost known for our physical brand of football. We want to play with great effort. We want to be disciplined in our approach. We want to put a product out there that our fans and our alumni can be proud of. So as far as staff is concerned, I think we'll have a couple announcements here in the near future for you. We're certainly going to put together a dynamic staff that are going to be great teachers, great recruiters, and have tremendous integrity.
Coach, Bruce Brown, Quick Slants Magazine. Your budget is going to be more than any other school in the Sun Belt Conference as far as assistant coaches and for yourself, what does this say to the commitment of the university to this program, and how are you going to back that up?
Well, I think that was a big part of the decision. I think Brian, in my opinion, is a true professional. I think he and Dr. Savoy's commitment, their ability to be on the same page, I think they understand, they get what needs to be done to make that next step. And certainly we're excited about the quality of staff that we'll be able to put together. So I truly believe that your coaches and your support people and their approach and their investment into the players is ultimately what decides whether you win or lose. And hopefully we can not only win on the field, but we can win off the field as well.
Hey, Billy, James Hughes with the Daily Advertiser. Do you plan to handle play calling, or do you plan to delegate that to one of your assistants?
Yes, I will handle the play call, and I'll run the offense. And I think that's part of that for me, just to be very honest, is I love to do it. I love the competition. I love the strategy that goes with that. And first and foremost, I love the interaction with the players, but certainly are going to make it, a deliberate attempt to be involved with the defense and be around the defensive players as well.
Coach, George Faust, KLFY. Just curious, obviously you're an offensive-minded guy, but talk a little bit about the defense. That was a point of concern last season. How do you intend to address that this year?
Well, my experience is that, to play winning football, all three phases need to work together. And certainly it's not necessarily just game day. I think it's a year-round plan, how you practice, how you install, how you put your off-season program together, the evaluation process and recruiting. I'm excited about the staff that I believe we're going to be able to put together on that side of the ball. But certainly I think it's about a quality working relationship. I think we all know what winning football looks like. We're going to define that for our players. And we're going to go about trying to put that product together with a specific plan, phase after phase in the offseason.
Coach Scott Prather, ESPN 1420. What do you think the national perception of this program is, and where do you want it to be 2 years from now?
Well, like I said before, expectations, I don't think you operate within the expectations. I think you got to really live by principle. I think I know what it takes. I think our focus is going to be on the quality work that we do each day when we show up. But I think people know what this place is capable of. I think that obviously this is a big statement, the level of commitment that's been made here. But again, it goes back to staying really focused on our process and our regimen with our players and our staff. We're going to move one step at a time, and hopefully when we get to the games, we'll have a good team that we can put out there that you guys will be proud of.
Coach, with the early signing period this year, how will you approach that since it's only a couple of days away?
Well, I spent a lot of the morning really evaluating some of the key guys for that decision. We're going to have a handful of guys sign, hopefully. We may not have any sign, but that's not a concern really for me at this point. I'm going to focus on the next 50 days, making sure that we answer the needs that we have with our current roster in February. So we're behind. I think everybody understands that to some degree, but as we put our staff together, we'll have a very specific plan. We'll go execute that plan. And I think college football coaches in general are trying to figure out what approach should be taken to this December 20th signing day. So we'll continue to evaluate that. We'll do a great job next year when we get there.
Billy, it seemed like there was some conflicting reports about whether or not you'd be staying with Arizona State for the bowl game. Can you clarify that for us?
Yeah, I'm not going to coach the bowl game. I think, really just first and foremost, it was about my family. I wanted to make sure that their transition was really smooth. Coach Graham has been outstanding throughout this entire process. And that's one thing I probably failed to recognize earlier. I can't thank Coach Graham enough for the opportunity that he gave me. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the players that I worked with this year, and the staff. That's probably one of the more difficult things I've had to do in my career is to walk in that offensive room and tell those guys I was leaving. we certainly made great progress and had tremendous relationships there. And I'm excited for those guys moving forward.
Seth Lewis, KATC TV3. Whenever there's a coaching change, there's talk of a lot of movement maybe within a program. How much is also recruiting some of the players that are on the roster to convince them to stay?
Well, in my opinion, this is probably the most important thing that we will do is really getting to know each player on the roster. You know, I think that that's critical, that we build that trust, that we establish that strong sense of communication. And it's going to come down to relationships. You know, they've got a sense that you've got a genuine appreciation for what they do, how hard they work. They've got to know that you've got their best interests in mind. And I think that when they see the type of men that we're going to bring in here on this staff to be around them, I think they'll get an appreciation for what we're about. And everywhere I've been, when you make this transition, that's the most critical part. We need to gain their trust. And they need to know that we're going to put them in position to be successful.
Coach Cody Juneau, ESPN 1420. Come January, the NCAA is going to allow a 10th assistant. How do you plan to use that staff spot?
Well, I anticipate putting the staff already knowing that we're going to have 10 assistants. So we're going to split the staff. You know, we'll have 5 on defense and 5 on offense. Somewhere in there will be a special teams coordinator. I'll be heavily involved with the quarterbacks. So, and I think that's only right, given my background, that I would be involved with the quarterback. So I think we're going to be able to put together a quality group and dedicate 5 assistants on defense. We'll probably split up the linebackers. We'll split up the secondary. And I think that'll give us a good group there. We'll have more people than most staffs do on defense in the future.
Coach, Raymond Parch with the Daily Iberian. You've worked for 2 of the most accomplished and revered national championship winning coaches in the game. What kind of lessons have you learned from Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney that you are going to apply to your own career as a head coach?
It is in college football. I think he's got a great plan for the players, not only from a football standpoint, but just in general, how to put the entire big picture organization together. And I think that's why he's had his run of the mill wherever he's been. You know, Dabo, to me, Dabo he's himself. You know, if I had to say anything about Dabo, he's comfortable in his own skin. He's going to do his thing. He's going to do it his way. But certainly a great leader, someone that's genuine, consistent in his approach. And both of those guys have put their programs together with a core set of principles and values, things that they believe in, things that they think are, they want to establish their identity. They're not going to drift too far from that. And I think they do a really good job of defining the expectation for everybody in the building, the player and the staff. So those are the things that we plan to do here. And certainly appreciative of both of those men and the opportunity that it gave me.
Coach, what is sort of your timeline over the next couple of weeks?
You know, we're going to work really the next couple of days. I think it's important that we kind of try to close the deal with 4 or 5 guys here for the December 20th to 22nd signing period. We're going to sit down with all the people here that were on staff last year. I think it's important that everybody knows that there's a lot of men here that did a good job. They did a quality job. And we're going to give them their opportunity to sit down with me. So not only the guys that coached on the field, but a lot of the support staff as well. And once we do that, we'll kind of transition to putting together our staff and managing recruiting at the same time. But first and foremost, in 4 or 5 days, we're going back to Arizona to do a little Christmas down here. So I'm excited about that. And then obviously, we'll get the family moved down. I'll come back after Christmas and we'll start working. You got it.
I just want to pass on a little story from last night when we were talking and how he fits into the system. He gave me a commitment to start calling him Coach Napier, so we're going to start doing that.
Well, if you're a Raging Cajun fan, you get behind Coach Napier, buy the tickets, go to the games, buy the gear, and support the program. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, he's impressive in his demeanor. He's learned from some of the best. There's no question about that. Now the question is, can you equate that in getting a staff? Can you get the recruits, and can you win on the field? But it's a step in the right direction, and we'll see what Billy Napier can do for the Raging Cajuns.
All right, Jody, I know you want to wish everyone.
Yes. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a great close of 2017. And here's wishing everybody a great 2018 as well, as the Pelican Sports Television Network and Radio Network will roll on. And we certainly appreciate each and every one of you for participating, listening in, and putting up with us all year long.
All right, we're going to come back. We're going to shift gears a little bit of New Orleans Saints for you. 6 guys in the Pro Bowl, a team that's put themselves in a really good spot. Can they make a postseason run? We'll find out a little bit about those New Orleans Saints when we continue with more here on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 800-383-8177. 800-383-8177.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, HardiePlank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. Continue with Tigers Roar. The New Orleans Saints are putting themselves in a really good position. Yes, 6 guys into the Pro Bowl. Check out the Saints website for that. A couple of games left in the season. We'll see what they can do. Can they get in those playoffs? It's not mathematically guaranteed yet, in all likelihood, but not guaranteed. So the Saints have put themselves in a good position. Hopefully they can make a postseason run. Those 6 Pro Bowlers, maybe they can make some noise come January. We got some comments from Drew Brees and Sean Payton and a few things about the New Orleans Saints. Enjoy.
Us on offense, it was, fast start. I think first 3 possessions were good, 17 points. And then we hit a bit of a lull there where we were kind of self-destructive, late second quarter into the third quarter. Turnovers. Then we had 3 turnovers in that period of time. Obviously took points off the board on 2 of those where, man, we're driving, we're in the red zone and got a lot of momentum. And then, so that part of it, disappointing because you feel like there was opportunities there to distance ourselves and score points. And so we made it harder than I think it needed to be. And yet, when we need to put together a drive and convert some third downs and make plays there at the end, we were able to do that. Yeah, it was superb. He had a big third down conversion, then he went up and made a great play. Might have been the very next play or soon thereafter. And then obviously the touchdown catch. Just a tough physical play on his part. Really that entire drive, you could see it in his eyes. He was, he wanted the ball and he wanted to make the plays.
Are you surprised he doesn't get as much attention?
Yeah. I certainly feel like Mike Thomas deserves, more attention. As far as, I think where he stands amongst, some of the league's best receivers. He's had, really two very good years thus far, and he continues to get better and better. And he's a guy that wants to learn and wants to be put in as many positions as possible to help this team and to make plays. And he envisions himself as that type of player, and he is. And so what's fun for me is every day coming to work with a guy like that who approaches each and every practice like it was a game, and his attention to detail and his focus and his intensity. And there is no walkthrough rep for Mike. It's always full go. Where do I need to be? When do I need to be there? When you expect me to be there? So I love that attitude in a player.
I'm sure it did some. When we look at the tape tomorrow and we look at the leverage and how we played, I didn't think we played very well up front or really at any position offensively. I'm being honest. I thought Mike played well, but situationally, we fumbled the ball, we turned it over. We did a lot of things that keep you from winning games, and they'll keep us from winning when we play better competition. I thought as the game went on, we played pretty well. Early on, one drive bothered me, but overall, I thought we did a good job. We got to eliminate the penalties. It shows up every week, same guys. Every week, same guys.
How do you work on
You work on it in practice. That's what you do at practice. So we got to do a better job coaching that. Listen, I think probably a combination of both, but we're going to put the film on and, we'll be disappointed. MEs, penalties, I thought it was sloppy.
Can you have gratification to get the win despite
Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, no, listen, it is what it is, though. We got to improve.
Good, man. Start off my career, something I always wanted to do. And, I just got to thank the Lord, for this opportunity to be on this platform. And my teammates, my coaches, anybody who's ever blocked for me, my receivers, fullback, tight ends. There's a lot of hands that go into having, 2 seasons like that. So I'm very appreciative of all my teammates, my coaches, and, guys are good.
How do you look at it? A little sloppy. Win is a win.
Yeah, man. We were a little sloppy. Had some turnovers. Felt like, but there's room to build. We'll look at this film. We'll get better from it. And got to get ready for another big one next week.
Talk about the screen to open the game, 54-yarder. Did you think you scored?
Yeah, I thought I scored. I mean, when they were showing it up there, I know it was close, you know, but they called it out. So they were saying that they had to challenge it and they couldn't advance it, or 2 yards or something. But yeah, that's, you know, I thought I got in, but you know, it was just a great call. He brought a safety pressure. I just bluffed it, and you know, Mike Thomas, he made the run happen out there on the end blocking, and I think it was Larry right there downfield blocking or Max, and I just tried to make the best of it.
Pretty good stiff arm at the end there.
Yeah, I was trying to get there by all costs, trying to get to the end zone by all costs, and you know, just trying to win my battle so I can get to the touchdown.
When you guys were stalling out there offensively, how much of a lift did Mike Thomas give you on that drive to be able to go up 24-13?
Mike is a beast, man. He's one of the best receivers in this league by far. He catches everything, making contested catches, run after the catch. He's just an animal. He's a dog, man. And definitely one of the top receivers in this league. He should be accoladed like that.
Well, man, after you had to leave the last week early, how do you feel today went? Couldn't come back from that.
You know, it is what it is. You know, it's football. It's a game we play. Back in there this week, I did what I had to do, you know, to get back, and it felt good to be back out there.
We continue with Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. I'll take time to mention it again. We have a new app that's under construction, being worked on, however you want to say it. Going to be available soon, not by Christmas, I can say that. But this new app is going to be able to allow you to watch Pelican Sports TV, to listen to the radio station. It's going to be Pelican Sports. Going to have some other cool things on it and neat stuff. And, of course, it'll also give you an opportunity to learn more about our sponsors and advertising partners as well. So be on the lookout, and certainly when we get closer to knowing when it's ready for you, we're just going to bombard it out on social media, be it Facebook, be it Twitter, also on all the radio, all the television shows. We're going to let you know about it. It's going to be free of charge. There'll be no charge for it, but it'll allow you to keep up with Pelican Sports TV and the radio station, no matter where you may go, and let people outside of South Louisiana know about it. You know, when we do the post-game show, we get phone calls from the state of Texas, the state of Florida, North Carolina. We've had them from all over the place. That's Tiger fans wanting to find out about the Tiger football game and all the other things we do here as well. So we'll keep you posted with the new app that's coming out from Pelican Sports. Now, don't forget, Pelican Sports TV still got all the great hunting, fishing, and outdoors programming. The radio station with CBS Sports Radio and the mixture of local programming. And once again, as we wrap up this week, on behalf of everyone at Pelican Broadcasting, we wish a very Merry Christmas to one and all out there. Also, Happy New Year. We hope the year 2018 is a great one for you, whether it be personal, business, socially, whatever it might be. And lots of folks here that are involved with television, a lot of folks that are involved with radio. Many people perform both roles during the course of the year. So we wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and we thank you for watching Pelican Sports TV, listening to the radio station, following us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, the whole bit. So once again, thank you, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Again, on behalf of everybody here at Tigers Roar, my name's Tommy Chrysan, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Thank Mike Scarborough, TigerBait.com, for joining us a little bit earlier. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from Pelican Broadcasting.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
6, 5, 4, 3.
I'm back. Roger Cador here. Come watch Clarence Bugs and I as we team up to bring up all of the positive things taking place at Southern University in the state of Louisiana. It can all be seen on the Pelican Sports. That's the best one. That's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's the best one.